Like, I wish I had a trumpet. Honestly, if I can find a trumpet by the time this comes out, I'm totally like the trumpet sound that's literally like the one that they use in every single, like, I want to say like animated TV shows and movies where it's like announcing Prince Charles the of the like, it literally, like, they always blow that little horn and I'm just like, ooh, yeah. Hi. Welcome back. Getting it together, guys. We're here and I have news. I have news. The double matcha has done it again. The double matcha has done it again. Like, I know I was just talking about feeling annoying and sensitivity to caffeine. And, like, here we are feeling annoying because of sensitivity. Okay, right. Right. And basically, like, you get the point. So, yeah. Also, trying something new today where I don't like monitor, like self-monitor how I sound using my headphones, because I usually record with headphones on, but we're not doing that today. We're just trusting the process and trusting the vibes. I'm gonna silence my phone because just because. What is that from? Just because. That's literally like an old meme. What the fuck is that from? It's like a British person. Damn, and okay. Right, see, like, and see what happens when your mind is just moving much faster than your mouth. So, we're gonna take it back to the top. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hi. Let me be polite. Let me act like I've been here before. Let me act like I've been here before. And like I know who I'm dealing with. My girls with short attention spans, like, AKA my friends in real life. But yeah, we're here. We're back. I also have, oh my gosh, I have another piece of exciting news. I haven't been, so for additional context, I have not been on TikTok or social media like in several weeks, but especially TikTok. Like, I haven't sat and had a good old-fashioned TikTok doom scroll in maybe like a month at this point. Like, I just don't do it. I get on there like once in a blue moon for a recipe, once in a blue moon if someone's like, hey, I sent you this TikTok for like a direct reference to something, but I don't just get on TikTok. And I just got on for the first time in a month, and I literally just had like, I was like, wow. I was trying to figure out what was wrong with me, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I had like, I just think, okay, here's my real theory. Actually, seriously. Okay. So, in the age of the internet, right, there's just so much happening all the time. You're getting lots of thoughts, lots of opinions, lots of different perspectives. Okay, cool. Like, period T. However, there's something that I've noticed happening, which is that, like, I feel like when you're on the internet too much, or when you're on the side of the internet that I'm on, because I'm on the side of the internet where people are now always posting, and literally think of how this is nonsensical. It's kind of nonsensical. I will say, like, I think there's value to it, but I can also see how it just is so, like, defeats the entire purpose. But there are like people whose entire platforms consist of telling you how bad the internet is and how you need to stay off of the internet, and like tips for staying off of the internet, and like tips for rebuilding your like I don't know the right way to say it, but tips for maybe what you should be reading, or how you should be taking like the first half of the day every day and not being on a phone and doing this, and just like tips for like general mental wellness. And I think that holds a lot of value and a lot of merit, but I also think it's interesting when that's a creator's like entire shtick, like their entire whole thing is talking about how we need to be off of the internet, but you get on the internet every single day to tell people how to be off of the internet. Like, and that's fine. Like, again, everyone has their thing and that's totally great, but I just think it's interesting. So not only was I getting all of the content that I already get on like a regular basis, that's already like, I don't know, overwhelming, because it's the same shit that everybody gets. It's like an info, something with information, something political, and then a throwback, and then a this, and then a that. Like, I get it. And then travel videos, and then cooking videos, and then this, and then like, it really is a lot. But also then again, like on top of that, you're getting people who are like, okay, well, the internet's bad, the internet's bad, the internet's bad, the internet's bad, the internet's bad. Like, and I'm just like, I hear y'all, and I do, but I get it, you know? Like, I hear y'all, and I get it. And I think that it can be hard to figure out what your own position is on that when you are on the side of the internet where that is being like fed to you 24/7. So that being said, I had gotten to a place where I was on the internet and that's what was being fed to me 24/7. And I was just like, damn, like, you know what? Like, these bitches on here are so right. Shouldn't call them bitches, but like the girls on here, I guess it's not just the girls, because there's also like male creators and like just people who make this content, but whatever. I was like, you know what? They're right. And I just decided to take a break and just see what happened. And I actually noticed a couple things. So I'm going to try to like walk myself through it, because this is the first time that I've really reflected on it and thought about it. But what I noticed was, as soon as I stopped using social media, avoiding social media already, oh my gosh, okay, and this is another aside, because actually I forget like where I read this or where I heard this or where I saw this, as is the nature of always reading, hearing, or seeing things. But there was a man who said, either in a book or in a clip or in a something, but it was a man for sure. And he said, the things that you avoid control you. And when I first heard that, it made me think of how I avoided Instagram for years. And honestly, low-key, like, still avoid Instagram because hate it. Literally I can see it in my mind's eye right now. But just even like seeing that fuck ass pink and orange, like square shaped icon with the camera outline in it makes my like stomach turn a little bit. And I don't know if anyone else has that experience with Instagram, but I do. And I think it's because I know, like, as soon as I open it, it just doesn't feel good to be on Instagram, for me at least. Like, I don't know, historically, my relationship with Instagram has always been getting on somewhere and then like immediately you start comparing yourself and you start seeing how other people are living. And like, yeah, you can argue that it's curated and that you're not seeing anything that people don't want you to see, and you have to like take it with a grain of salt. But I think it's really fucking hard to just take it with a grain of salt when it feels real, because that shit feels hella real. And then you're seeing it and you're like, okay, and there's just another person from school who's doing really well, or there's just another person who's traveling the world, and there's just another person who's this, and there's another person who's that. And that's always been like my deal with Instagram, even like when it was early days Instagram. Like, oh my gosh, which also, I don't know if I said anything about this already on here, but literally Instagram like reactivated my old Instagram account. I think I have said something about this already, but Instagram basically reactivated like my old Instagram account from like made in 2012, like when Instagram was established. And I was going through there and I was just remembering the way that I used to feel and why I deleted it the first time, because I had that Instagram from, I think, literally middle school to, because, oh my God, because I just remember it. But I had it literally from middle school to, oh my goodness, I just caught a whiff. Whoa. Side note, because what the fuck? I just caught a whiff of myself because I like woke up this morning, went out on a walk, and then went to Pilates, and am now sitting here because I got matcha after Pilates. And like I said, like the matcha is literally coursing through my veins like a fucking, like it was injected in there. And I just got a whiff of myself and I'm like, ooh, like girl, like that's that, like that's, it feels like it's like that primal stink that they be talking about. You know, when they talk about how people in Paris are musty and it's the primal stink, which can attest to it being primal. Like it's real, like people in Paris are musty and it is a very primal stink. And I'm having that right now. And I don't usually get that off of myself. Like I don't usually get waft of that fragrance, you know, but I think it's because I forgot to put on deodorant after my shower last night, now that I think about it. So maybe that's what it is, but that's kind of crazy. Anyway, I mean, what was I saying before that? I was talking about, I think it was Instagram, like my old Instagram account. Oh yeah. So recently, I guess, like logged back in and like self-reactivated or something. I was just looking at it and I just remember being that age and feeling the way that I felt using Instagram, like that feeling of just being a middle schooler, because I had that account. That's what I was saying. I had that account from middle school and I deleted it the first time, I think when I was like a freshman in high school, because I literally was like, I can't deal with this feeling anymore. And just the thought of it, it makes me so anxious that I have to just not, period. I have to just not, period. So as a freshman or a sophomore in high school, I think I deleted Instagram because I was like, with it gone, you don't even have to think about what you're going to post. You don't even have to think about like how your pictures look. You don't even have to think about if your selfies are good enough. You don't even have to think, period, about shit, period. Which that is one of the things that I will say I do like about having Instagram deleted, is that you don't have to think, period. If you're taking pictures and videos, it's because you want to be taking pictures and videos, because you want to be recording your time with your friends, because you want to be making like, or having record of these memories with your family and whatever. Like without Instagram, I think, or at least in my experience, it definitely does add a layer of authenticity to all of the media that you're taking and like everything that you're capturing and why you're choosing to do it. Which, even thinking back on all of the Instagram content that I have from those years where I wasn't, or not the Instagram content, sorry, even thinking back on all of the content that I took on my phone and like on Snapchat, for example. Oh my gosh, Snapchat. But yeah, even thinking, I'm honestly might even re-download Snapchat. But even thinking about like all the Snapchat memories and like save chats and this and that and the third that I have from that time period where I didn't have Instagram, it's all just so good and it's funny and it's real memes and it's so good. And I know that like, obviously, like all of these tools, aka social media, only have as much power as you give them. But when you're young and your brain forms around comparison on the internet, which a lot of our brains did, like if you literally were like me and were on the fucking PC logged into MySpace and Facebook and like as early as like, dare I say, like fourth grade. I think I made my first Facebook account in fourth grade. I don't know why. So my fourth grade friends and I could get on fucking Facebook and bully each other. And we weren't even friends. So my classmates, like, that just doesn't even make sense. Because why does a fourth grader need a Facebook account? But that's how old my Facebook is. And when your brain forms around that, it is hard to, like, take a step back and make the official distinction of, like, honestly, like, I don't need this. this is just a tool. It has as much importance as you give it, as much power as you give it, right? And I remember hearing that man say, like, the things that you avoid are the things that, like, hold the most power over you. And immediately when I heard that, my mind went to how I spent so much time avoiding social media before TikTok. Like, before TikTok, there's like before TikTok and there's after TikTok. And we all remember BT before TikTok, and then AT like after TikTok, dead at, or ATT, like whatever. And I know for some people, they have reverse and like they're more like, yeah, Instagram is for sharing my life and blah, 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 whatever. But I think before TikTok, I had not had any experience on social media that felt even remotely close to just being a tool for fun, period. Just being a tool for, or a thing that you just use to have fun, or just using it for this. Like, I didn't even have a concept of like how you can just use something exclusively just for yourself. Like, just for yourself, not for anybody to see, not for this, not for that. Like, that's literally how I felt when I started getting on, like, being on TikTok. And I don't know how many people feel similarly, because I know a lot of people also feel like it's really destructive. But it just felt different. For me personally, TikTok immediately, like, felt different than every other social media. Like, it literally feels so, I don't know, something about the fact that there's so many people on there posting so much random shit and so much of whatever the fuck that they want, and connecting with the most random, the most niche communities, making just different types of internet friends, and like just seeing different types of content. Like, it's just such a melting pot that I have from the beginning felt like it's not necessary to avoid TikTok. But I say all of this to say, to bring it back to, I felt that way. But of course, when you're consuming so much of the internet and everybody on there is saying, okay, internet bad, internet bad, internet bad, which internet is bad, of course, and you must have discernment and you must make those decisions on your own, and it's up to you to like redefine your relationship with the internet. Because yes, like, obviously, like, everything out of moderation is bad. Like, it's the same with fucking alcohol, it's the same with fucking cigarettes, it's the same as any addiction. Like, if you're taking it there, you're taking it there, and it's bad. But I think it had been like forced down my throat so aggressively that every time I got on TikTok, I started to feel like guilty. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, internet bad, internet bad, internet bad, just subconsciously, without taking the time to step back and think about what the tool of TikTok, because it is, I mean, I think social media is like a tool at the end of the day, but without taking the time to like step back and think about what my own relationship to that application is. You know what I mean? Like, what is my relationship to TikTok? What is my purpose for using TikTok? I have never had a bad time on TikTok. I've actually only ever had fun on TikTok. Yes, sometimes I've experienced like fatigue, like scrolling fatigue, as you do. And of course, like, your levels get like deregulated, as the think piece girls say. Like, of course your levels get deregulated when you are just like, because there are people who use TikTok who are literally clocking 80 hours a week on that bitch for real. Okay, those are a different type of person. You know, I was never like that. Like, I was never an 80 hours a week on TikTok girl, but I was taking the information that I was receiving and applying it to me as though it applied to me, even though it didn't. And so when I deleted TikTok, I was like, I found that I was trying to fill the hole, because TikTok brought me joy. Like, obviously, like, I know that there's a lot of people who can relate. Like, TikTok just brings joy. It's just, there's nothing like it. You get on that bitch, you see some shit that you wanted to fucking see every single time. Like, every single time I open TikTok, I see some shit that I wanted to see. Now, every time I open TikTok, I also see some shit that I wish I wouldn't have seen. But there's a balance to be struck. And I think after taking so much time away from it and realizing that in the time that I was off TikTok, I wasn't even like using that time to not do anything. I would fill it with other things. And I think I like said something about this last week where I was talking about just like being so aware of like the lack of creation that's happening when you're on something like social media or when you're consuming content, period, in general, whether it's YouTube, whether it's a movie, whether it's a show. Like, just being still in general kind of makes me anxious already. And I think the thing about this stint that I just had, like, off of TikTok definitely allowed me to realize that, like, the problem wasn't TikTok. Like, the problem just wasn't TikTok. The problem was that I can't just sit with myself. And so, which is a whole separate thing, which I am gonna unpack, not here, but like at some point whenever I feel like sitting down and journaling about it. But yeah, oh gosh, my screensaver just came on, and it's like, I don't know if anyone knows like the Oregon Coast screensaver, but something about it, like it just came on and it's just the most, because I used to have like the classic like Sonoma Valley and it's like vineyards and shit, and that's beautiful. But for me, like, and this is just a brief aside, seriously, but for me, like the beach as a baby who was raised in the water, like South Florida, house literally, like we was going to the beach like several times a week because that's just all that my grandma, that was the only way for us to be entertained in like early childhood, just like go play in the sand and go to the beach. Like we, kid you not, went like 4 or 5 times a week. But yeah, like that's gonna bring me back every time. The beach is gonna bring me back every single time. I love the beach. I love the beach. I love the ocean. Like, that's my girl. And so when this and I honestly, I miss it so much. Can't even talk about how much I miss it because I haven't been to a beach in, oh my goodness. When's the last time I was at the fucking beach? Because the lake is not the same. Let's start there. Let's start with the lake is just not the same. I think it's been, gosh, I don't even know. It's been like a couple of years now, and I don't know that I've ever gone 2 to 3, dare I say? No, because you know what? 2.5 years ago, or in 2023, I did go to the beach in Portugal. So that I think is the last time I was at like the beach proper, was the beach in Portugal in 2023 in the summertime, Euro summer period. But gosh, I don't think I've been to the beach since then. And when was the last time, like I'm trying to think of even like a family vacation, because we don't even go to the beach. We go to like, or we went to, where did we go just recently? Oh, we went to Finland. Yeah, no. Finland, does Finland even have ocean? I mean, all that shit was frozen, so like I don't even know, because it was literally like a winter vacation. It was like in the mountains and in the woods and shit. We saw the Northern Lights though, which was crazy. Northern Lights was crazy, but that's not giving like the beach. Like, I don't know, I don't have like a deep connection with Aurora Borealis. Like, that's just not my, it was amazing, don't get me wrong, amazing, beautiful experience. I'm so grateful, but I'm like, it just definitely wasn't giving what the beach gives, because I was also cold as fuck. Oh my gosh. And I also almost got like hypothermia in my toes. Like, I was so scared that I was gonna have to go to a Finnish hospital and like get my toes, like what's that thing, get my toes amputated. Because they literally, like, I hadn't been able to feel them for so long. It was beyond what I considered to be normal. Like, I have never felt cold like that in my entire, it was like painful before it was like quiet. Like it was literally like the pain before the quiet of my toes feeling so cold that they hurt for so long because we were out there for like a couple, like several hours, and then just not feeling like anything. Girl, like, oh my gosh. But anyway, yeah, the beach screensaver just came on and I'm like, love you, miss you, like missing you horribly, can't wait to go back. But yeah, what the fuck was I even saying before that? I was talking about Instagram and TikTok. Yeah, so anyway, if you're looking for a great screensaver, would recommend like the Oregon Coast or like the Oregon Beach or whatever that shit is called, because it is super, super cute, very serene, very fun, will make you feel, it's like if you like look at it and just like turn all your lights off and immerse yourself in it, it'll take you to the beach. But that being said, TikTok wasn't the villain. TikTok wasn't the villain, and I guess because I realized that TikTok wasn't the villain, I just decided, you know what? Why not just open her up and really just open her up and let myself just have that? And the joy that I felt, just opening TikTok and just taking a peek, like taking a scroll, a 5-minute toilet scroll. Like it wasn't even nothing crazy, but it was fabulous. I was like, wow, I don't even feel this way. No, actually, I do feel this way. I feel this way when I'm watching a good anime. And that's how the fuck I felt doing my scroll on TikTok. I was like, wow, this is literally hitting the way that a good anime hits. So, yeah, it was great. It was great. Love it. Love her. Glad to be back to her. Can't wait to see like what we do together now that I've taken the time that I need to, reflect on our relationship and unpack. But yeah, so back on TikTok. Happy about that. Excited about that. Can't wait. I'm literally gonna just set a timer and take like a 10-minute scroll after this, I think, which I fear 10 minutes isn't gonna be anything, because I will say people are posting single videos that are like 10 minutes these days, which is crazy to think about. The fact that most videos that I actually have seen on TikTok, like prior to this month hiatus, most videos that I watched were like 3 to 5 minutes or like 5 to like 10 minutes, but they hella don't just be under a minute 30 anymore, which is kind of crazy. So don't really know if 10 minutes is going to be giving anything or like hitting on shit, but we'll see. The point is, your relationship, like it just, I don't know. I think it's really important to be cognizant of what you're taking from the internet and how you allow it to make you feel. That is like what I say all of that to say. I think because I was so focused on, gosh, it's just interesting because like when you become a part of any sort of internet community and you identify with any sort of like demographic of people, you kind of take on the beliefs and thoughts and feelings, or it's easy to, you don't have to, but like it's easy to take on those positions as if they're your positions. And even with like, just for example, like the quote unquote like thought daughters, right? Because that's another girl, like that's another demographic that I had to take space from, because at first I was like, yeah, like they're so me. Like I am a thought daughter down. I am a thought daughter down. Like thought THOUGHT, like thought daughter. I have thoughts. I have a lot to say. I'm a writer. Like I'm so smart. Blah, 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 blah. I'm literate as fuck. Like I have a Substack. Like the bitches aren't touching her. Like for real. And after consuming so much of that content, I was like, even amongst the thought daughters, there's a serious lack of thought diversity if you allow yourself to get got by the lack of thought diversity. Because it's like, okay, well, you all have the same exact positions that, well, nobody else is complex. And like sitting in a field, sitting in the same fuck ass stock photo ass cottage field, it'll be like sitting in this instead of scrolling on TikTok or sitting in this field and never opening another Instagram reel ever again. Like, it'll be shit like that, but it's like you're all posting the same shit still. Like, thought daughters, your think pieces are all the same. I think I got like 10 essays on Substack this week alone. Just this week alone, 10 essays on Substack about something or another to do with, quote unquote, rediscovering like yourself amid the internet era, and like losing yourself amid the internet era. And like arguably that, wait a minute, because arguably that's what I'm talking about. Okay, wait, and was like this just a read? Did I just read myself? No, that's what I'm talking about, but I think the essence of what I'm saying is just different. In the sense that, in the beninging, who said in the beninging? Okay, anyway, in the sense that, like, I think there has to be an understanding of when you say things like this and when you do things like this, like where you're coming from and what they actually mean to you. And again, like something about like the way and even like the language that is used, for example, on Substack, it's the same language. Like looking through these essays, it's like you're restacking the same quotes. Your thoughts sound just like all of the other like thought daughter thoughts, and there's just no maybe a potential, like there's no one unpacking how we got there in the first place. And it's like they're like, yeah, like it's just been so nice to like live this quiet life and have this slow life and do blah 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 blah, but you're not unpacking like why you felt the need to have a fast life, or not even not unpacking why you felt the need to have a fast life, because it's like hard to describe what I'm trying to get at here. But it's like you're talking about slow life and this, that, and the other, and mindfulness practice and up, down, and the third, and then nothing about your whole platform, your whole life, your anything speaks about also the understanding of the fact that like you are still young. Like these bitches be 23 years old on Substack talking about slow life, greater than symbols. Like, babe, you're 23. There is still actually youth to be had, you know, like the aging yourself up into like this thought daughter academic, like tenured professor of a woman at 23 to 25 years old, arguably is kind of crazy, you know, like, and that's what I'm talking about when I talk about this, like that pattern of, even like when I think about the clean girls, right, and how that aesthetic is just based in like the old money. Look, it's old money for a reason, like, because that shit is old. Like that's how bitches, rich grannies are dressing, you know, and styling their hair like hella no product, because by the time you're old you don't want to fucking have a bunch of product in your hair. So how about that? Like, but again, it's hard when this is all you're getting to see the, like, to really deconstruct the origin of what this wave is. And I think that's kind of the difference between this stream of consciousness, so to speak, and like the whole like thought daughter essays, because it's like they're not unpacking the need to feel like a thought daughter. Like, girl, because who told you you had to be that way? Why do you want to feel so like higher brow and so like understanding of like your place on the internet and seeing how everyone is in shambles? You're still using the internet every day, mama. Like, you're just using it for something different. So yeah, I don't know. It's definitely very interesting, but I think it's important to not let those things dictate how you exist on the internet, period. How you exist in your own phone, period, how you maintain your social media accounts, how you do whatever. I don't know. And it's kind of interesting because it's kind of even a little bit, dare I say, like dangerous that there are so many different, it's just so easy to fall into these silos within internet culture. But human beings are so like, this is just me thinking about this, by the way. Like, I'm not trying to like push a narrative or like push an agenda, but I'm just like thinking about this. And obviously this is all happening in real time and it's very unpolished, but I don't know. It's just interesting because human beings are so multifaceted that it even has kind of started to ring alarm bells in my head, for example, when I see people like, because I am like, I would say like I'm like pretty left leaning. But I think, for example, seeing people who are like super far left and hearing the lack of thought diversity. And it's like, as a human being, yes, like everyone deserves human rights, for example, but like what you don't even sometimes realize that the shit that you're saying is like a violation of someone else's human rights, but you're so like staunch in your positioning and like staunch in your perspective just because you're being perceived this way, like you want to be perceived this way so badly that it's not allowing any other narrative to like seep through the cracks or any other way of thinking like seep through the cracks. Like, and yeah, I don't know. I guess I really understand where the girls who are on the internet, like you need to be reading and you need to be reading outside of like your preferred genre. You need to be reading from the perspective of people who believe different things than you. Like if you're super religious and Christian, like maybe you need to be reading like books written by atheists about their positioning. Like it's like, I think that there's not enough access to the thought and idea of really actually in real life stepping outside of your comfort zone in these like siloed groups on social media. So yeah, I don't know. Very interesting. But yeah. And you know what? Period. Because on that note, because I did say we're really on our self-producing grind. So that being said, moving on, we're going to get into obsessions. But yeah, wait, before I move on though, I say all of that to say that like, I really do understand and like, I understand why it's so easy to like, kind of like maybe blame things on social media or like fall in with these communities or whatever. But I think it's worth interrogating like with yourself, your own relationship to the shit. So that's like the overarching point. And yeah, I don't know. That's the overarching point. So moving on, obsessions for the week. And I do still have journaling and unpacking to do on it and meditation to do on it, like trust. So yeah, I don't say all of that to like be like in this holier than thou space, but more so like my own unpacking still needing to be done aside. I just think that those are like definitely things to think about. And yeah, okay, so that being said, did I watch Drag Race every single day this week? Yes. And I did. And I've just been kind of binge watching it, maybe in a crazy way. Still don't know what that's about because I haven't interrogated that much. But yeah, that's still happening. Would recommend, and honestly, like maybe this is sacrilege because I don't know, but like would recommend starting at season 5 because season 5 is like tea, and apparently like that's like a really good season, and that's where I started, and then just going from there. Yeah, Drag Race. What else? Yeah, still the Poppy War. Yeah, still the Poppy War. She's really going slow and steady. I think I came to the conclusion, I don't know if I said this already, but I came to the conclusion that I cannot read or hear what anyone else has to think about something before embarking on the consumption of that media. Because what I've realized is I do this thing where, like, for example, so here's what happened with the Poppy War, because I was really into it and I was really loving the first book and, like, loved the first book. And was it heavy and was it a lot? Like, yeah, but it was really good and, like, well written, I thought. And I was feeling really, like, comfortable in where I was sitting in that book series. And then got on Goodreads and saw some people's just, like, thoughts on the rest of the series. And of course, like, they are offering good reviews, bad reviews, whatever. And my fatal flaw is that I have to just read it all. As long as it doesn't say spoilers, like, I'm reading that shit. And so then I'm thinking about it and I'm like, you know what? Like, if I really think about it, gosh, this is literally what the fuck I just talked about. But hey, I'm admitting to it because I'm like, I see it in real time being my issue and why I can't. This is what I actually can't consume, is, like, reviews of movies, shows, and books. Like, because that shit, I will be influenced, actually. If someone's like, and especially, anyway, if someone's talking about some shit and they're like, yeah, just, like, really derivative, poorly written, blah, blah, blah. Like, to an extent, I think, filter out the noise, but I think just the recency bias of having that in my head, not even that I take it in and take on that same position, because that's not what happens. What happened with the Poppy War was they were, like, all talking about, and this isn't a spoiler, but if you also have recency bias with, like, reviews influencing you, then maybe skip. But they were all basically talking about, like, oh, like, first two books were really good, but the third book ruins the series. Or, like, this second book is, like, nowhere near as good as the first book. And, like, these characters never get tied up and blah, 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 whatever. And so even though I'm not taking on those positions because I can't have an opinion on it because I haven't read it, in the back of my head, it's like I'm hearing those things. Girl, the gas, the double matcha and, like, no food. She's cooking something. But yeah, hearing that and having it just ringing in the back of my head as I'm reading makes me less immersed and less enthusiastic, and therefore it makes it harder to get through the content. So, like, what I found with the Dragon Republic, which is the second book of the Poppy War, whereas, like, I read the first one, for example, in literally, like, a day, and that's a big ass fucking book. I read that shit in, like, 1 or 2 days. And with this one, I'm just having a hard time getting into it because it's like anytime something annoying happens, for example, I'm thinking back to the reviews talking about, like, yes, like, this annoying character never gets less annoying. So then I'm irritated and I'm like, damn, like, and she's not even going to stop being irritating for real. Like, she's just not even going, like, this is going to keep happening all the way, like, through the story, all the way until the end of the book. So yeah, I will say I do need to get better at just discarding that noise, because that's the type of shit that, like, literally, like, will ruin my experience. The only thing that I don't let that happen with, or that it's easy for me to kind of, like, toss other people's opinions about, is anime. And it's because I have so strong, like, I have such strong and firm, like, stances on anime, what I do and don't like, what is and isn't okay, like, what's good and what's bad, period, that it's kind of just easy to throw out, like, what other people are saying about it. Not gonna lie. So, and honestly, I will say, I think I'm pretty similar with movies too. Like, I have such a strong foundation for, like, with films, yes and no, good, bad, okay, not okay, actors and actresses, performances being good versus bad. Like, I have such a strong place that I come from with that, like, I think for movies too, like, it's pretty easy to, like, toss what other people say, because I'm like, well, movies are just, that's just such a subjective, like, experience. But oh my gosh, and another thing, actually, we're gonna talk about that later, but, like, later, like, next week. But yeah, so that being said, still chugging along in the Poppy War, and decided that I can no longer read book reviews because, again, I'm still, like, I read a lot, but I'm still trying to kind of learn what type of reader I am, like, what I love, what I don't love, what authors I like, what authors I don't like. Like, there's still just a lot of learning to be done with reading. And like, yes, I read a lot and I've been reading my whole life, but as an adult reader with like a new mind, essentially, I have obviously like not, I think, done nearly as much consuming of like that as I have of other things that has allowed me to feel so firm in one place or another. So yeah, don't read book reviews if you're like that. I can't. So here, what else? Gosh, ugh. Jacob Elordi, hello, like, don't even know anything about anything. But what I do know, because I can't even say I'm obsessed with anything, because he's not, I haven't seen, or all I fucking seen is that fuck ass Wuthering Heights trailer. And then he was literally, oh my gosh, and he's gonna be in Frankenstein, which I'm so excited about, by the way. Like, in the spirit of October, so excited for Frankenstein. Gosh, in the spirit of Halloween, so excited. But yeah, Jacob Elordi, like, I forgot about him. And this can move us into Man Crush Monday and Woman Crush Wednesday, because I forgot about Jacob Elordi and then got a clip that popped up on my Google feed, because you know the Google feed. And it literally was like an interview with him and Jimmy Kimmel. Bro. Because, like, I forgot that he was fucking giving all of that he was giving. Like, I just forgot about him. Because you know what? When men in the media enter into a public relationship, I be forgetting about them fast. Sorry, like, something about the part of me that, like, is like, well, yeah, like, I have a chance with you, Austin Butler, obviously decides, okay, well, while he's doing that, I can focus on myself. While he's doing that, his very public relationship, I can focus on something else. Like, I don't have to be worried about him, so I'm not going to be worried about him. I'll worry about him when he's in my face. And so that's what happened with Jacob Elordi. And I don't even know if he's still in a very public relationship, but what I do know is I saw him in that Jimmy Kimmel video and I was like, ooh, I'm thinking of you. Like, heart eyes emoji, like, hashtag thinking of you, loving you and only you, like, missing you, like, come home. Like, Jacob Elordi. So yeah, Man Crush Monday is Jacob Elordi. And what? Woman Crush Wednesday. Who are we going with? Woman Crush Wednesday. Because I was gonna say a drag queen, but let me take a step back and really think. Ooh, Woman Crush Wednesday is Issa Rae, only because I just got like media on my Instagram feed of her like finishing a marathon, and I was like, Issa, like, you do it all. And I don't know what she's working on or what she's doing these days, but, like, shout out her. Love her. So, yeah, Woman Crush Wednesday is Issa Rae. And how irritating is it that, like, Man Crush Mondays get to just be handsome, but, like, Woman Crush Wednesdays have to be, like, super women and, like, amazing. And this is just me talking to myself here, but I'm like, how annoying is it that, like, when I'm pulling my Woman Crush Wednesday, it's not just for being hot? Well, no, that's not true. No, actually, it's not that it's not true. It's that women aren't just hot. Like, women are so great and awesome and do so much cool fucking shit that they're hot and there's something that I admire about them. Actually, that's what it is. Like, it's not even a me problem. It's the fact that, like, women just are amazing and do the most and are, like, really giving. And so, yeah, like, when I talk about Quinn Blackwell, I'm like, yeah, like, she's so fire, but also she's worked her ass off and built this iconic ass brand out of literally just being a clown on fucking Vine. You know what I mean? Like, there's something to talk about. And when I'm like, yeah, like, Issa Rae. Yeah, Issa Rae is tea, but Issa Rae is also literally giving us girl boss. Like, And women don't just be sitting up being fine. Like, they sit up and they're fine and they work and they do things. Whereas I'm like, with a man, I guess Jacob Elordi works. Jacob Elordi works. Jacob Elordi works. He does have a job and I don't. So, okay. And not too much. Like, but it's just not the same. Like, I wouldn't say, actually, and let me not say that because I don't even know what I wouldn't say. But that's interesting because sometimes they do just, actually, a lot of the time, they do just get away with just being hot and doing the bare minimum, but they get to just be hot and that's it. And I'm like, damn. And women, they get to just be hot, but they don't just be hot. Like, they be hot and they do more. And that's, yeah. So you know what? Love women. Shout out women. And yeah, on that note, when is Women's History Month? Is that like, that's in March? Yeah. Well, and it's not Women's History Month, but anyway, that being said, happy Halloween. Did I already say that I decided I'm going as a ballerina? I don't have, at this point in time that this is being recorded, I don't have any of my costume yet, but she's gonna come together, okay? So, yeah. Happy Halloween. I will continue celebrating all the way through November, like I already stated. And, yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Love you so much. Bye.